The doctor is in. Hey,
Yes,
Mo.
we are. Hey, Ricky, how you doing?
I'm good for a
The
crazy
doctor
Wednesday.
is in.
The doctor
Oh,
is in. And we are going to have such a great show today with two of my besties.
I love it.
My besties.
It's such a good topic and a timely topic as we're getting into finally warmer weather. The cold snaps are done, the days are getting longer, and we're all ready for our hot girl summer. But I'm seeing a lot of folks walking around with a lot of interesting things going on here, whether you have cancer or you don't. The studies show that like 80% of people are in the wrong bra size and have no idea what their actual bra size is. 80% of people, every 8 out of 10, only 2 out of 10 people actually know what they're right with, their bandwidth, their cup size. It's a disaster. So we need some help.
I remember when Regina first told me about cherry blossom, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'd gone out to dinner and we were in this restaurant and she's looking around like she's got on the wrong bra. She got the wrong bra. She went around the room.
You
None of these
can't
women had on
unsee
the
it,
right
right?
bra.
Like you
Remember
can't
that?
unsee it.
I was dying laughing. Like, how do you know? She's like, they're the wrong bras. They have the wrong bra size. So we have my Dr. Regina, who I love, and my dear friend.
Hi.
And I was just saying to Mo, I think when I met Jasmine, I think you were like 21 or 22. You were how old were you, right?
Yeah.
We'll stick with that. I can't believe it's
Ballpark.
only been 3 years since then. I can't believe.
Yeah, ballpark.
I know
Yeah.
it happens,
And
but
you're still living your life's mission though, right? Like you're still
yeah,
on your purpose. And it's
that
so
is true.
interesting and impressive to see how it has grown and how it has blossomed, haha, pun intended, right? Into what it is now. So I think we got to start from the beginning and just tell
Yeah,
the whole
tell your story.
story, tell the
Yeah,
story in law.
Yeah, wow. So it feels like it was just yesterday that we were chatting with Ricky about this, even as an idea and a concept, and it's
right,
come so far. Oh my gosh.
right.
My name is Jasmine Jones. I'm founder and CEO of what is now Myya, what was previously Cherry Blossom Intimates, partnered here with Dr. Regina Hampton, who's an incredible breast surgeon, and my co-founder. And we created this business, yes, because we saw so many women struggling to find bras that fit them, their bodies, their post-surgical bodies. And we met actually out of complete happenstance. I was Miss DC, and Dr. Hampton was at a breast cancer 5K, and I was walking alongside of her. She was checking me in at the check-in desk at the 5K, and we were walking and talking. And she was telling me about this idea of having a store for breast cancer survivors to shop alongside women who hadn't experienced breast cancer in a dignified way. And immediately flooding back to me were the memories of my grandmother shopping inside of a medical supply store for bras and post-surgical supplies. And I remember thinking when I was a little girl watching her go through that the experience required a lot more dignity than what she experienced. And immediately, Dr. Hampton and I hit it off, and we just kept sharing ideas. And that is it in a nutshell. It took a lot of work beyond that point, but that is where the business idea sparked and blossomed under the cherry blossoms that day. And a few short years later, we had our grand opening, and Ricky was there with incredible inspiration and helping
With
to
boob cupcakes. Remember those boob cupcakes I
boob
had?
cupcakes, yes, and a singer with touching
Right, right.
songs, and we had a live moss wall that was living and
So cool.
breathing, and giving tours of the store, and
Such a beautiful
cancer
place.
cells, posted up on the walls, and a team of sales members who every single person had been impacted by breast cancer. So everyone was really driven about the mission. And we kept that store for 5 years, and it really grew into something that was magnificent. And now it's evolved, it's even bigger, I would say, in some respects, because we're able to now touch women across the nation through a platform called Myya.com, where we can fit women across the USA through telehealth. So we offer post-mastectomy bra fittings using a telehealth platform. We accept most major health insurance plans, and we actually now fit at MedStar Washington Hospital Center. We just did that today. We kicked that off
Awesome.
this
You have a
morning.
Everybody,
store there?
I
You
love
have a store there? You have a store there?
We do fittings there on site for their immediate post-surgery patients once a month there. So in addition to the fittings that we do all around DC and Maryland, Virginia, we do them there too now. So it's been growing, and we could not have done it without the support of you, Ricky, and you, Dr. Mo, and Dr. Hampton and her patients, and it's been a movement in the DMV and beyond. So I'm so happy to be here and to be sharing this story.
Awesome.
So cool. So cool. The store was so magical because you just walked in there and you felt like you were a princess, no matter what you were going through. And I watched so many sick women walk in there, bedraggled, worried about, I just had surgery, not feeling great, feeling horrible about their body image. And
Yep.
they spent an hour in that store and they walked out like a new woman, right? I watched it happen so many times. I mean, and you guys, I never wore lingerie till that store, right? Because I walk in there and
You know, I took patients from Pennsylvania down to that
down
store.
to the store, yeah, but it was like a magical
Yeah,
place. But I think
it
you've
was great.
now, when you look at the website, you've created that same princess feeling online. And now we can reach so many more people because they can still get all the love, all the care, can you explain even how you do a fitting now with Myya?
Yeah, so
Pretty
it's the
cool.
exact same concept, but just online. So when you talk about that princess feeling, that's exactly what I did. I don't want to, if I get too chatty about it, tell me because I can nerd
No.
out about this. I went to
Love it.
Paris and I went into a lingerie boutique called Agent Provocateur.
Mm,
And I told them in the store in French, and I told them, I said, I'm building a lingerie store right outside of DC, and I want it to feel like this store. And the shop girls were bored. They had nothing else to do. And they were like, let's tell you all about it. So they took me all around the store and they started telling me what they do and how they do it. And I was like, I want this feeling here. I want women of color to be able to feel like they are shopping in Paris when they're down in Prince George's County. And
Right.
I took elements
mm,
of that and I brought it right to the county. Literally, I had a notebook. So I took those exact same elements also onto our website. I wanted that white glove experience. So I don't ever want our customers to feel like they're forgotten. I never want them to feel like they're an afterthought. I want them to feel like someone thought about them through the entire process, whether that is onboarding, whether that is dealing with the insurance part of, billing, whether that is their packaging, whether that is a follow-up and a reminder, um, or dealing with a return, all of that. So what we do now for the virtual fittings is we meet with a patient one-on-one, just like how we are now, and we send you a measuring tape to your doorstep and we walk you through your measurements. And then we have a digital process where we can almost guarantee your exact bra size and the exact right bra for you based on the tens of thousands of bra fittings that we've done in the past with
wow.
with precision and accuracy, and then recommend the right bra for you. And then we bill it to your health insurance plan. And most women don't know that the cost of these items are covered by their health insurance. So we make sure that we educate our patients on what their insurance allows and the
Say
cadence
that
of
again.
which
Say
it
that again,
allows.
really emphatically.
Yes.
The cost,
Yes.
the cost. Oh,
After you've been diagnosed with breast cancer, the cost of your bras and your breast forms are covered by your health insurance for life
Yep.
by federal law. It's a law. Um,
Wow.
and it's been enacted since 96. Dr. Hampton might be able to tell me 96, 98, a long
98.
98. It's been a while. And it's for life. So whether you've had your surgery 2 months ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, it's for life and it's on a specific cadence. So we let you
Mm.
know what that cadence is for you, and then we make sure we get you on track. And we inform our patients of that at the time of their fitting. And then we let her know when she's next eligible to come back and shop with us again.
Does her doctor have to write a prescription for it?
She does, or their doctor does.
Uh-huh.
But if you give us the name of your doctor, we can go and help you get that. So it um, kind of takes the headache away. And then I also built on our website a portal to make it even easier. So let's say your doctor has a hard time with dealing with faxes. On our website now, she just fills out the form. The doctor just fills out the form and can do an e-sign, and they'll get a copy to them, and we'll get a copy to us. Easy peasy. So that's our goal in life is just to make it easy, seamless, and really beautiful in a way in which you'll want to come back and you'll want to shop with us again and feel loved by us and come back and visit your favorite mastectomy fitter every time you're eligible to shop with us again.
And the
Now
bras
this
are beautiful. The bras are beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
this is
It won a design award at FIT.
what?
Mhm.
Wow. We have to put some links in the chat, Ricky, so that we
Yeah,
can
I
see the
did. I did. I put in there. I put it
the
in there.
website, but also maybe links to certain ones so that people could click on them and see. I want Dr. Hampton, I want to pull you in here, Dr. Regina, because I have to say, first, kudos to you for solving a problem that so many breast surgeons really grapple with, right? And I want to talk about the difference between the immediate post-surgical bra and then sort of the later considerations and whether or not you cover both, but talk about the gaps in the need that you saw on the clinical side of things a little bit.
Yeah, I think, there were things that I just didn't know and understand, even fully understanding the law and that these items were eligible, that women were eligible for these items after surgery. So that was a big, aha moment for me. And then, women, whether they've had mastectomy or lumpectomy, their bodies are definitely different. So I think a lot of women think, oh, I can just go back and wear the bra I've been wearing for the last 20 years. And it's like, well, no, because even if you have a lumpectomy and still have your breasts, there are going to be some changes. And those changes will be immediately post surgical, but then they also will change over the next 6 months to a year after surgery, especially, based on the type of treatments, particularly radiation after, having your treatment done. So, I thought it was just a real big need. I thought it was, oh, just my patients, have this need. But then I realized everybody's patients, has this need. And so it was really just kismet that Jasmine and I met.
It was
She has
God. It
more of
was
the
God. It was God.
she
Right.
has more of the business background. And so, bringing the medical and the business together has really been great and awesome.
Wow.
So, Dr. Hampton, one of the things you told me too, and we're talking about bras now, but you also make boobs. And I remember bringing my mom there, who says hi to you. I told her you're coming on the show today. Hopefully she's watching. But I mean, you said that you noticed that even like the pictures that you show patients about surgeries and reconstruction are all white women. And so I remember you commented and said, "Do you have any pictures of Black women's boobs?" Because you wanted to be able to replicate what a real boob looks like for us.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and that's one of the reasons why I think a lot of women, especially Black women, don't know these items are available because, if you Google online prosthetic, it's usually white prosthetics that show up. If you try and Google anything about breast surgery, it's usually white women that show up. And so I think that really contributes to the reason why we have a lot of the issues why women don't come forward because they don't see their own image. So it was really important for us to really focus, on brown skinned women and other women of color because we're so underrepresented in this space. And what was interesting, we went to a conference or actually Jasmine went to a conference and a lot of the mastectomy owners are not Black. And
True.
they don't really understand. And when asked, what they do when a Black woman comes in, they say, oh, we just give them a prosthesis. It doesn't matter the color. It's going to fit into the bra. And Jasmine made the comment to the woman, well, why don't you buy all brown ones? And there was a pause.
I love that. I love that.
Very pregnant pause, right?
So
Sheesh.
we were very intentional about really keeping in stock brown prosthetics. Now we've had white women come in, and some of the white women say, I'll take a brown one, that's fine. But, we're very intentional about making sure that the color matches the person in front of us. And I think that's just so important.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It really is. It really is. Wow. It's kind of a
Yeah.
revolution. I mean, and it's funny the way that you got, well, it's definitely God that brought you guys together, but it's not rocket science to figure out that we should have bras that fit, right? I mean, I think maybe it's a way bigger problem than even breast cancer. Women just don't really, I mean, how many women are not fitted in their bras properly when they're not sick, right? I think it's a
80%.
huge opportunity, right? Just to know your body and be able to find some underwear that fits for God's sakes. But I think you've made this so special for women that need more special stuff in their life.
Absolutely.
And I think you've made it accessible for people who don't conform to certain body types and body image, right? Like, can we talk about that just for a second? I mean, I tell patients, our breasts they're twins, but they're never identical, right? Before a cancer diagnosis or before surgery. And then afterwards, there can be asymmetry, there can be scars, there can be things that tissue expanders that are temporary and other things. And so there's so many reasons why a person might not feel great in their skin, and then to have something that's supposed to hold them in and give them support that's ill-fitting is just like it's a little bit of insult to injury.
And I think it
Absolutely.
makes the survivorship journey even more challenging and more difficult.
Yeah.
And it's even actually medically necessary to now have properly fitted post-mastectomy bras and breast forms, especially as we're seeing when women don't have them, the consequence on their body. So when they don't have breast forms that fit well, we're seeing a lot of shoulder slump, back pain. In the seniors that I've seen who aren't wearing their breast forms, they have balance issues. I see a lot of seniors who are having falling incidents or balance incidents. They don't know why. They don't feel like themselves. And I'm like, this is your center of gravity. You had two breasts that had weight to them, and now one is removed. And no wonder you feel a little off. We need to get you
Yeah.
properly fitted. We need to make sure you have weight on both sides. And it's one of those things you don't think about until it's gone.
Right.
And I
Right.
try to make sure we're educating patients to know, like, it's not just aesthetic, it's nice to have these tatas, but it's also another thing to make sure that beyond what they look like, you're actually feeling really good in them, and that they're carrying you well, and that you can hold your shoulders upright, and that it's not requiring you to um, hide yourself. I see a lot of that too. And the more
Yeah.
we educate patients, the more I see them like nodding along. They're like, yeah, actually, I did notice I was doing that. And I do sit up a lot straighter, and I do feel a lot more confident. So it's a full woman experience, I think, now, as they're walking out of our fitting rooms and they're becoming themselves again. As cliche as it may seem, like it's making them whole again. It kind of is that in a way. And it's a really powerful job and responsibility that we have in this position. And as mastectomy fitters and as owners and as, healthcare workers and as, women in the survivorship journey alongside of them, it's really an amazing thing to be and to do. And I feel so proud of it. So I can't get enough,
Good.
honestly.
I think it's also important for patients to understand about the type of bras that are offered. So, most of us walk into a store, pre-diagnosis, we're buying wire bras, they're not fitting well. What's
Mhm.
important to note is that these bras specifically are wireless,
Mhm.
but very supportive, come in a number of different cup sizes. And I think what's also unique about the bras is the side band is a little wider, which becomes important for patients who've had surgery. I say we all have the side boob that nobody ever notices until the breast is removed or until they've had some type of surgery. And so the band on the side really holds that side down. It holds in some of the back fat that a lot of us have. Um, and so these bras are very, very comfortable. No wire, a little bit wider band. The straps can even be a bit wider, and they're cute. They're lacy, and really soft on the inside of the cup. So women just really feel good when they put these bras on.
I love that, because I was actually going to ask you that very same question. What are some of the unique considerations that a patient who's post-surgical might have? You might have been through radiation, you might, et cetera, you know, and I heard you mention the band. What about the material and the fabric? Are there things that you needed to consider that just maybe you didn't see in the marketplace already in terms of what would be either appropriate or feel good for a cancer patient?
Yeah, there are a lot of things. I would say immediately post-surgery, one of the questions I ask is about mobility. How does it feel when you lift your arms? For some women, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm back to normal. For others, they're like, I'm having a difficult time lifting. My lymph nodes were removed or what have you. So for those women, I always recommend a front closure bra for the first 3 months at least. I also recommend very soft bands that go under bust for a long time. I see a lot of incisions that go along that bra line. So you want a very soft under bust band right there. We have a bra called the Marie. It's cotton and it's double lined, but it's all cotton and it is so soft with that special consideration in mind. It also has adjustable straps that go all the way up from the back all the way to the front, so you can pull it and make it as tight or as loose as you want. I keep that in mind. It's the straps are also super soft. So yes, the front closure and then the super soft underbust bands are my two most important considerations when I'm doing my fittings. I'd also say to ensure that your bra isn't too loose immediately after surgery, especially when you're transitioning from a compression bra. Some women are like, I'm sick of bras. I don't want anything else. But I'm like, just don't move into like nothing after. You definitely are still going to want a level of support. Your doctor is going to tell you that you want to move into something that is still very supportive after. In consideration of your breast tissue and continuing to support it. And a lot of women also, and Dr. Mo, you didn't ask me this, but one of the things that I've been stressing is for women to know the type of surgery that they've had.
Yeah.
Sometimes I talk to women and they don't know the name of the surgery that they've had, so they can't really express it back out to me or to others. And they're like, oh yeah, that sounded familiar. I'm like, was it a deep
No,
flap? Was it a lumpectomy? Did you have a biopsy?
I was
They're
just
not
looking at
quite
this. I was just
sure.
looking at this. So you can't
Yes.
really see it. But I
On
was
our
looking,
website, you can shop
yeah.
by surgery type.
That's
Yes,
Oh, oh,
that's
that's exciting. I have
you can
not
shop
seen
by
and
surgery
that's
type.
so cool. Yeah, I love that. You said I had a
that.
double mastectomy because
Yeah.
people don't know. They don't
I
know what surgery they've
don't
had. They
know.
don't know what chemo they're on. They don't know what stage of cancer they have or what size it is. I mean, or what kind it is. So I love that. So you have I'm clicking on double mastectomy and it basically even explains what it is. So
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, that brings up a good point. I mean, I think, certainly not for Dr. Mo and our patients, but, for all those ladies out there, take the time to talk to your treatment team and understand what's going on. I mean, I think you can't give consent for any procedure if you don't understand what procedure is going to be done, why they're going to do it, what are the risks, what are the benefits. Really, really important. And as a patient, that is your right to do.
That's right. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you're right. And folks also don't know how much radiation they've had and where it is, and whether you had lymph nodes removed. Some people do know that, and so I think there's a lot of confusion in the space, and people just sort of give up. which I hate to see. It makes me so sad. I'll see patients, who are 10 years, 15 years out, and they're just coming for, just to establish care. And I say, okay, well, let's talk about this asymmetry. Let's talk about, your undergarments. And I think as doctors, we have to remember to ask about this. Like it shouldn't be, an afterthought or left to the nurse to talk about. Like we should be having this discussion with our patients as well.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, that's one of the things that I always
go ahead.
could do when somebody, because you could tell, especially someone who's a little older who maybe had their surgery beyond 10 years ago, you just could tell, their body language coming in. And one of the things I would ask them, and they didn't know, is that, you have a lot of asymmetry. Have you spoken to your doctor about regaining symmetry? That's a part of this federal law. So if you're one of those who had a lumpectomy 10, 20 years ago when some of the treatments were different, if one size is not quite fitting you, you can get a prosthetic, which we could help you do, but you also could go back and get additional surgery to get your symmetry back. And a lot of people don't know that.
It's covered. It's covered to go. You can get surgery.
Yep.
And it's covered by insurance, I know I had 3 incisions because I had so many lymph nodes taken out. So I was like, I didn't want really anything to touch me because I was just really tender under my arm and like, you know what I mean? And so these bras are just so comfortable. But it's, you guys, the thing, my favorite thing at the store, right? So, and whenever anyone asks me, which happens a lot, what gift to buy someone who's about to have surgery, what do I say?
What do you say?
This robe.
Ooh. Put the link in the chat. It looks beautiful.
So, but it has pockets for all the drains.
Oh.
And it has like a bra is built into it, right? And then it has pockets for all the drains. It's like the best gift. And it's pink. I mean, what's pink and black? But I've bought so many of those for people, or that's why I send people to buy a gift, because you have these things hanging out of your body and you don't really know what to do. And for anyone who's not had a surgery, explain what the drains are, you guys, because it's a gross concept.
Well, primarily nowadays when someone has a mastectomy, what happens when you take that tissue, when you remove that tissue, the body wants to fill that space up with fluid. And so we know that fluid is going to be there and coming. And so we put a drain in. It's a closed system drain that automatically drains that fluid out over about a week, sometimes 2 weeks, some people 3 after surgery. So that fluid doesn't build up on the chest, because we want that area, especially if you're gone flat, we want that area to become flat and not have it essentially would be a water boob that sort of forms there if you don't drain that fluid out.
It's like a little skinny tube that connects to this bulb thing, and you have to like squish the tube and squeeze the gunk out of it and pour it out. It's kind of disgusting, but that robe hides it all. It's like such a great thing. And also you're always feeling like something's like hanging from you. So it like protects you, and it's such a great, great gift. It's such a great thing. Plus you guys have all the other good stuff, like for the shower, for all the things to hold these drains in place. And but I mean, I just feel like you thought of everything.
Now that's interesting too, Ricky, because I know I have a lot of patients who, we tell patients, you go home, you can shower the next day or 2 days later. And they're like, all right, but what do I do with these? And they look like they've got these Christmas bulbs hanging from them, and so we're like, oh, well, you can pin it to your lanyard, put it in a plastic bag, you can sit it on a shelf. But to have things that are really tailored for that it feels special, and it feels you've considered every aspect of the journey. And I think that the patients that I have encountered who have had the forethought to think about these things, because it's hard when you're managing everything and trying to figure out your meal train and your work situation and all your paperwork, like it's a lot. But to know that there's somebody who has thought of these things and who has sort of either bundled these things together or made them available to you. And that's an interesting thing, like a surgical bundle, right? Like what's in your pack,
Right.
But to have that
and that's here's your surgical bundle designed for recovery. You guys, it's on the website. It's on the website. What you buy, here's what you need, here's what we have for you. It's done. So it's like a one-stop shop for
Yeah.
for, what you need,
Yeah.
and so
It's so
Because your
funny.
skin is so sensitive. Hmm.
It felt like, when we started this a million years ago, that back
when you were
back in
21.
our day, when I was 21, yeah, 2 years ago when we started this and we cleaned, that all of this seems so disjointed on the internet. It's
Yes.
a lot better now, but at the time to do this, to find something that you were looking for as a survivor, you were going on 5 different websites. I mean, to just find a list of what you might need after surgery, you would get maybe some of your list from your doctor, and then you would get some of your list from maybe Pinterest, and then maybe something from a Facebook group, and then maybe your best friend had gone through and you get a few things from there, and then you kind of get some essentials with, and then you kind of whittle it down to what do I really need. And we tried to just put it all on one website where, okay, this is a list of recovery items that we know your essentials. This can get you through the hard times. Your surgeon does so much, and we know you all have a tough job that you all can't do it all, but we hope that if you can send her to Myya,
Hmm.
to our website, that she can get halfway there, that with just a prescription and being sent to our site, that she can see the list of things she needs for recovery, and that she can get her insurance covered bras and breast forms, and that she's on track for life for those items that she needs going forward, and we can make her journey a lot easier. But yeah, when we started, I mean, our customers were just a Googling, and then they were like, "Oh, we don't know what list we need." And we were like, "We can try to help you as much as we can." And that's just how the ideas started coming to be. But before then, it was just so disjointed. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Dr.
I know
Hampton
they're
and I were
probably,
just like, we gotta do something about this. Now it's a common thing, but before then it was not. It was so not.
yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, now they're going on AI saying what bra to buy.
Oh
But
yeah.
but also you guys also there's still this amount of shame that you feel,
Mhm.
right? Just the whole concept of buying a bra to begin with. But think about like going into a major department store to buy a bra after you've had surgery and trying to fit yourself and trying to like not let anyone see your scars and trying to like do it by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Um, so because you're afraid to show it, you don't want to, you don't, and also like I don't want to freak people out. Now I don't care. I take my shirt off. I don't really care, but I mean, but you're still like getting used to it yourself, right? So you take all that pain away, all that emotional anxiety away, all that, you can be, free to figure out, to have the support that you need to buy something as basic as a bra, right? I mean, think about, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's also important, for women I know we've talked a lot about mastectomy patients, but, patients who've had reconstruction, whether you've had reconstruction, your construction went well, if you've had reconstruction and you're going through the stages of reconstruction, these items are eligible for you as well. And sometimes you may need them. If you are doing reconstruction and you start out with an expander, the expander is going to be at different sizes as you move through the journey, depending on how everything's healing. So, that's where the products that we have at Myya and the bras can be very helpful through that process as you transition. And then even after you get through to your final reconstruction, again, having that nice soft bra with no wire is going to be so comfortable for you, whether you've had a deep flap or an implant based reconstruction.
Mhm. Do you have compression garments as well? Because I think we talk a lot about lymphedema in the extremities, in the arms especially, but we don't often talk about lymphedema in the breast. And lymphedema in the breast, it can cause a lot of pain, tenderness, symptoms, heaviness, I don't always see sort of the garments that can help to support patients through that journey either. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that and what you're seeing, in some of the patients who've had radiation and such.
Yeah, we don't have the specific like garments. So like a lymphedema therapist is gonna recommend and they kind of grade it based on how much compression someone needs.
Mhm.
Now some of our post-op bras can be slightly compressive, especially during that post-operative period. and that can be helpful. So it really just depends on the needs of the patient and how much, lymphedema, specifically breast lymphedema, that they have.
Yeah, that's right. And we have been able to source compression bras for patients and still assist them with the insurance process so that they don't have to worry about that. And then get those items sent directly to their home for them. So we've been able to assist in that way, but they haven't been the Myya brand, but we've still been able to help the patients with that just as like a courtesy, because we've seen that it's been such a need.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is. And somebody here in the chat and Facebook is saying, I said, well, what was for the survivors, thrivers, what do you remember? Do you remember your first bra shopping experience after your breast cancer surgery? And what was it like? And the comments are coming in. It was horrible. I couldn't find, and I think that you all have really just helped so many people. And the compression is going to be, working with lymphedema therapists and coordinating that, at least in my experience for some of our patients, has been a little bit of a challenge. But to be able to have you all as a resource to say, hey, listen, we can help you figure out what to order. Here's the catalogs here. Let's get you right is helpful for so many people who feel like they're so far out, they don't know what to do. And then they go to, a store that shall remain nameless that has these odd bra sizes. And they're like, oh, well, I'm a size 4. And it's like, wait, what is that? And they don't know how to measure. They don't know how to fit. And you end up with the double bubble. And, it's a lot. Our system needs help.
Please do come to us. We'd be more than happy to help, and we can get it sent directly to your doorstep.
Can we talk
You
about
also have bras in every size. You have bras in every size, aren't you? Like
up to what size too? Up to what size?
Up to 50, 52 band and H or I cup, and beginning at 30 and 32 band.
Incredible.
A and double A.
So just for the record, I put in buying a post mastectomy bra into my Gemini Google friend. I call him G-Man. Myya was designed to eliminate the stress of going into a traditional medical supply store by moving the entire experience to a private, comfortable virtual setting. It's a fantastic research and game changer for post mastectomy bra shopping. The first virtual mastectomy boutique that allows you to get professionally fitted and order your bucket of bras and prosthesis completely online while handling all the insurance.
Wow.
It's right here. I can show it to you.
Wow. Did y'all know you did all
that? So pretty cool how they summed it all up, right? It goes into the virtual fitting consultation, curated selection of bras, direct insurance billing. What do you need to get started? Your prescriptions tells you exactly. Basically, they went to your website and told you what to do. Perfect. So people in AI trying to buy a bra after a mastectomy, that's what they're gonna find you. Wow. But we hope they're finding you from here. But I think that I think more than anything, you give love. Yeah. You have all the stuff. You have all the resources. You thought of everything, but you give love. You can feel the love.
Wow.
Every day.
And somebody said 5 years later, it's still not much better. Because I said, what was it like your first time? And she said, well, 5 years later, it's still not much better. And, it feels like a 2x4 between your breasts, and it's not pretty. Or somebody said it used to be fitted in the back of a medical supply store in the back storage room. Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not acceptable. Not at all.
At all.
Not acceptable. Yeah. And I mean, so on average, how many bras does a woman buy a year or need a year? Like
12.
Wow. So when you get fitted, like if I got fitted today, how many would I buy that would be covered?
3 every 90 days on average.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And how much does a bra cost?
Out of pocket, more often than not, nothing, depending on your health insurance plan. But
well, no, I'm just saying, just what is that? But what's the value? Like if I went to Nordstrom and bought a bra today, it would be like $100.
About $60.
So it's really like almost, almost a $200 value every 3 months. Who doesn't want to save $200 every 3 months and get the best product for your body, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's also important for women to realize, your body changes over time. So we may fit you in one bra today in May, but in October, November, you may fit a different bra because what do we all do? We either gain weight, we lose weight. For surgery patients, you're going to hold on to water, you're going to lose some water. So really important to get that fitting and be in touch. I say at least every 3 to 6 months, especially for breast cancer survivors, and don't get stuck on a number and a letter. Get stuck on the fit. You want a good fit. Who cares
Yeah.
what number, what letter it is? No one's going to know. We're not going to, write it, on the wall that you were in a 36G bra. But when you're in that 36G bra and you're in your clothes, you're just going to look so different. And actually, it can have a slimming effect once you're in the right bra and you get those breasts lifted up, really it fitting you well. It gives the illusion that you have a bust line and a waistline, and that's a slimming effect. And you didn't do anything but put on a good bra.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. So
I put that in the chat. I said, because that's quotable, and you put that on your website. Don't get stuck on a number or a letter. Get stuck on a fit.
I know. Yeah, it's a fit. Yeah. And that actually, I remember remember we came for Christmas that time and I brought all of them in my family to buy bras for Christmas. My mother's going to buy everybody a bra. But I remember, I think Amanda or Haley, they bought 3 different bras, 3 different sizes.
Yeah.
Right. Just because of how they fit, for our little boob family. But yeah, don't get stuck on that. So here's a hard question. What if you don't have insurance?
So, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Dr. Hampton, and then I'll go.
So the breast and cervical programs will help to cover bras, just like they'll help to cover all your other medical services. And we try not to turn anyone away. We're willing to work with everyone and try to make sure that each woman can walk out with a few bras. So we've had donors in the past who've helped us to support bras for women who have no coverage. So we're really willing to work with everybody.
That's incredible.
I knew you were going to say that, so that's why I asked the question.
Yeah. We've
I
had
have a
incredible
question too.
sponsors. We've had incredible sponsors who we've set funds aside to be able to cover the costs for women who've been uninsured or underinsured, to provide them with the same level of care and dignity. And no one's the wiser as to who has what access to funds. And they probably didn't even know that they didn't have the ability. It just was covered and that was that. But we try to make sure everyone is served and well taken care of. So, but then also I will say that even if you don't have traditional insurance, Medicaid does also cover the costs of post-mastectomy bras and prosthesis as well. So if you are enrolled in Medicaid, you do still have that option.
I think also important to know for those who have, because this is a medical product, you can use your FSA funds, any of those other type of funds that you use to cover your medical costs. You can use those for these products, the bras and the prosthetics.
So when when it's December and you're trying to spend that fund before the year ends, right? Go buy some bras. Go online and buy some bras, right?
Yeah. And what if people are watching that want to gift something to someone? Because we know a lot of people who are watching are either, just in it, coming out of it, or a caregiver or a support person. We're part of our advocacy groups. Like if you wanted to gift someone the gift of Myya, how could you do it?
Oh, that is a wonderful question. So you could purchase a gift card if you'd like to buy it for a person that you know. You can buy a digital gift card. That is an option. You can also contribute to our WeFunder. So if you go to wefunder.com/MYYA, you can invest in the company and they have different tiers. And depending on the tier, you actually can get a different reward level, and that can open benefits, perks. You can receive gift cards from them. I think one of the perks is like we can name a bra after someone that you love. So, yeah, so it's a lot of cool different perks from deciding to invest in the company if that's an option that you're interested in. I'm not soliciting investment, but if that is an option that you decide to explore, that's available to you too. So we have a lot of different options for how you can contribute, how you could give, how you could donate, and how you could give the gift of Myya to someone else.
That's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I put that in wefunder.com/Myya, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I put that in the chat.
So can we talk about elements of fitting for people who are watching who maybe either haven't had surgery or they're maybe far out from their surgery? Like, you know what, every time I go and I get a bra, it just never is the right fit. I know it's a longer process than probably the time that we have.
This is my favorite thing.
What are some of the elements that, that we could sort of talk about here?
Okay, I'm gonna go through it real fast. So if you grab a measuring tape, you're gonna take it around your under bust, okay? And that number that you get is probably gonna start with like a 30 or a 40. If you add 4 to it, if it's an even number, that's gonna be your band size. Add 5 to it. You want it to turn out to even. So add 4 or 5. Whatever that is, that's your bra band. That's gonna give you the best starting point. Now, bra shopping, you have to keep in mind there's no standardization in the bra industry. So if you go out and say, I'm a 36 double D, that is not true because every bra in the world is going to fit a little bit different. But at least with the bra band size, you know your starting point. So with that bra measurement, you'll know the band size measurement. That's a good place to start.
And that's what you measure +4.
+4.
Okay.
Or you might have to round up to 5 to get an even number, but it'll
Okay.
be an even number. Okay. The next thing you want to look for in a bra, if it has a underwire, it's called the gore. That's the centermost part. It needs to tack flat to your chest wall. So we all have that little piece right here. It needs to lay flat. That's how you know your cups are the right size, that they're deep enough. If it's not laying flat, that means your cup is not big enough. You need a bigger cup. Okay.
Say that one more time for us and tip your screen down a little bit.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry, it's on the spot.
The centermost part
Yep.
is called the gore of your bra. Okay.
Yep.
I actually have a gore on my bra. It's called the gore of your bra. It should tack to your chest wall. It should lay flat to your chest wall.
Got it.
That's how you know your cup is deep enough, that your bra cup, which is this part, that it's big enough. All right. So it needs, if it lays flat. So if this lays flat, that's how you know this part fits well. The hook on the back of your bra, you want to put it in the second hook. Not the loosest, not the tightest. When you buy it, try putting it on the second hook.
Second
It's
hook.
going to give you a little bit of room to loosen it or tighten it. Okay. Another thing you want to do is something I like to call swoop and scoop. You want to get the breast tissue inside the cup of your bra. And the way to do that is a little trick. You're going to take your hand, bend over, and stick your hand inside the bra and pull your breast tissue inside your cups. Okay, and fill your cups up with your breast tissue. All that stuff on the side, people are like, oh, I'm just fat. No, it's breast tissue. It needs to go inside the cups of your bra. Those are just a few of my favorite tips. Dr. Hampton, did I miss any favorite tips?
No, that was it. That was it. Yeah, I think again, just to reiterate, the measurement is a starting point, and you may walk out with 3 different bras. So unless you're going to buy the exact same style, the exact same bra, then yes, you'll have the same. But if you like to change it up a little bit, each of your bras may be a little different. And we always encourage the post-surgical patients, especially within the first couple of months, is you may want a couple of different sizes because again, your body's going to do some changes. Some days you may have a little more swelling. Some days you may have a little less swelling. So having a bra that can, having a few bras that can accommodate that, the healing process takes up to 6 months down to the cellular level. So there's going to be a lot of change in the breast over that time. And then when you add radiation, there's going to be even more changes.
Yeah.
So having a couple different sizes, I mean, even me now, I have a couple different sizes because my weight kind of just fluctuates. Trying to get better. But so on days when I know I'm like, ooh, need a little bigger bra, and some days I need a little smaller bra. Definitely important for breast cancer survivors to have those options.
And you're right, because you might be wearing a racer back, right? You might have something, you're wearing a tank top, you're wearing a this. And so the cuts are all different. And I've had patients say that to me before too, but I'm a such and such. And I don't know that the plastic surgeons do a great job of helping women out there, right? Like they're focused on something different. And
Right.
so you could ask what cup size you are, what cup size you
Yeah.
want to be, but most people don't know what cup size they are. And so the cup size they say they want to be is totally different. And then the plastic surgeons measuring things from the collarbone and from the inferior mammary fold, from the bottom of the breast, and they're looking at symmetry, but it doesn't necessarily translate into what a woman should do. And I find that women leave the plastic surgery office sometimes a little bit confused still.
Yeah.
About their actual breast size.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I think for those patients who choose to get like an oncoplastic, so
Yeah, that's
for
the
those
problem.
who don't know, we can do a lumpectomy, take the cancer out. But in somebody who has a large breast or even has some asymmetry, we can do the breast reduction, breast lift as their cancer operation. So I always encourage those women to go and get fit before your surgery. So you get your real size. Because a lot of women are like, well, I was a triple D and now I'm still a triple D. No, you probably were a J. And
Right.
now you're down to a triple D, which really is an F cup. So I think that can be helpful to kind of get your mind right, because women get really mad at plastic surgeons because they think,
Mhm.
oh, I'm going to go down to a D. And it's like, not so much.
Right. That's true.
All
Very
right.
true.
We have a question from Stephanie, our friend Steph. Hey, Steph. What is the best for the middle part for bilateral mastectomies when bra fitting? For
So
the
I
middle
said
part?
that's what maybe what type of bra for the middle, because the skin can be sensitive in between, and I know our surgical bras use this really harsh Velcro. And like you think about sort of that middle part. So I'm not sure what she's referring to, but maybe talk a little bit about that in terms of
Yeah.
just post mastectomy
Stephanie
bra.
here. Yeah.
What do you recommend? Zip, snaps, Velcro?
Yeah, I hear lots of complaints about the irritation of the Velcro for
Yes.
front closure bras.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our front closure is called the Vivian. It has hooks, which takes a little bit more patience to hook them, but they're very secure. I recommend the hooks for the front closures. I also like the Marie bra for bilateral mastectomy because the neckline comes up a little bit higher. I know for our bilateral um, girls, sometimes they have a little bit of a dip um, uh, underneath, and it just can look a little bit more hollow. So that higher neckline kind of conceals that a bit more. And when you adjust the straps, you just can't see it at all. Those would be my recommendations. I also like the Josie bra. If you wear that and then you put the breast forms in and then tighten the straps, I think it conceals it really well. And then it has lace on the neckline. I think that looks really pretty.
Right.
So those would be
Wow.
my three recommendations.
Wow. 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 Wow.
So
Wow.
Stephanie said if it doesn't lie flat, like
Doesn't lie
like
flat in the middle.
so when you're fitting your bra, you're trying to assess if your bra is a good fit. What if it doesn't lie flat in the middle? What does that mean, I guess, in terms of how your bra is fitting or what you should do for your size?
Sometimes the wire-free bras won't, the gore won't lie flat. More often than not, that will have a little bit of space if that's what you mean, Stephanie. And that's okay. That still shows that it's a fine fit. If you mean because it's gapping, because it's space there in between, I would recommend a prosthesis that is full backed as opposed to hollow backed or scooped out. And we could go through those options in a fitting and find out what works best for your chest wall. We like to look at the, for lack of a better term, topography of your chest wall to find the best breast form for you. And we could help you decide which option is best.
I love that because some patients will get the Goldilocks mastectomy and they'll have a little bit of bump at the bottom. Some people will have something where there's more volume at the top, or there's variable volume throughout, right? Due to scars and radiation and, all the different things. So to have someone to say, okay, let's figure out what the right breast form is for you. And really sit with someone and do that, I think is just so valuable because it isn't anything. I know certainly as a breast surgeon, Dr. Hampton, you can weigh in. I don't think there's anything we were trained really to do or assess, right? We do our job and then we kind of move on, but we don't think about, what about the gappiness of
Yeah,
the bone? What
right.
about that? What about the underwire? What not the underwire, but the under breast and the volume issues that patients might have and the space in between. We don't think to assess for that or to partially supplement if a patient still has a breast.
Mm.
When
You
I tell
know?
you, Mo, my surgery has changed slightly. So, when you do a mastectomy, we're taught go up to the clavicle. Well, there's not really any breast tissue up there. But I've
Mhm.
noticed when you go up that high and carve out the little bit, that's where those women get those dips. So then when they wear a prosthesis, it it's flatter up here and then they've got the prosthesis versus
Mm.
I figure out where the end of the breast is and that's where I go so then they don't get those dips there, and that's really important for those who get reconstruction as well. So that's kind of being a fitter now has really just changed how I approach my surgeries.
Yeah. Wow.
So you guys,
And
when
the
you
books
meet
need
with
to
your
stop saying
doctor,
go up to the clavicle. I'm
I know.
over it.
It, and the
So
breast
Nobody's
tapers
breast
off
tissue is
job.
up there.
surgery.
Yeah.
Not to get too technical, but when you're in surgery, you're doing that. It does. The breast tapers off down to the chest wall,
Yeah.
and people are still tunneling the glory up here. And you're right; these women end up with this really, it's an unfortunate deformity, an unnecessary one. Wow. Hmm.
So you guys are, watching. If you're about to have surgery, ask these questions of your doctor. And if you don't remember, you can go back and watch this episode again, or you can email me, and I can
Mhm.
hook you up
Or
with these
contact us at
lovely.
Myya.
And
There
contact you at Myya. Say you can do a question at Myya. Do a question at Myya. Yeah, if
you've
you're,
already got. I'm
yeah,
telling you right now, you've got more customers in the chat right here. I mean, this is
yeah,
incredible. Somebody said, I'm headed your way.
yeah. So yeah, so yeah, go to Myya. Go to Myya before you have your surgery. Go to Myya
Mhm.
right after your surgery. Go to Myya and even when you're thinking about surgery, so you can ask your doctor the right questions and know be prepared before you even have the surgery and know
Yeah.
what you're dealing with. So
Ricky, I think this is a good conversation to have in the advocacy groups too, maybe once a month or
yeah,
every quarter or
yeah, we'll
something.
do this with
Kind
Belong.
of
And Dr.
available,
Hampton presented to Belong before, but let's talk about Myya
like a
Belong.
fitting party almost, you know what I mean? And have
Yeah,
like an
yeah,
informational session so that way people who are, about to go through surgery, folks who've been through surgery and kind of offline, not on the Zoom and the Black Doctor or anywhere else, but like maybe just in that private closed setting, say, okay, listen, every quarter we're going to touch bases and talk about this. We're going to get you fitted. We're going to make sure that, that we're right and that we're good. I think
Well,
it'd be so
in the brick and mortar store, they had parties all the time. I had a few. So
helpful.
you could do it virtually, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Do the party
Now, is
virtually,
it
have your girlfriends
Maya.com?
over. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
have a virtual party. I think that's a great
Yep,
idea. Bring your
we'll
girlfriends
do
over,
it.
go bra shopping, and
Exactly
that's
right.
a great blessedy thing to do. Go to, make some brunch, have everybody come over and go on and get their fittings while they're with you, while together, right? Buy some bras together. I
Well, and
think
there
that's
could be a little do a breakout room for like a little, everybody's in the main party room and then do a little private breakout room.
I love
I
it.
love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
we did that with our links chapter. We did a breast health conversation and we talked about and everybody got tape measures and we all measured and we all went to, but I think having you as a part of that experience the next time we do it, because it was so popular, they asked us to do it again. But we're going to bring you back even with our links chapter and make sure that, we are doing it the proper way, answering questions, talking about breast health and focused on all these things, because there's been so many of us who have had some surgery, whether it's just a lumpectomy, even for benign things. You'd be surprised
Right.
how much
Right.
volume people have lost just in the process of breast surgery for anything.
Mm.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It's lots of
So
folks.
Juanita's asking, are there any more brick and mortar stores in New Jersey? Myya is online. So it
Mhm.
doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter where you live, you're going to get the same level of care that you would get in a brick and mortar store, right? From
Mhm.
these lovelies, from their team and in your house, in your bathroom, in wherever you have your computer, right? Right on your iPad, right? So on your phone. So don't hesitate because you don't live where they are. They're right here. They're right here.
Okay.
They're right here in your house with you, with us, always,
Awesome.
24/7. Right.
How can folks follow you both
Yeah.
and follow Myya and connect? We're going to put it one more time in the chat and make sure everybody has it.
Yeah.
Yes. You can find us on Myya.com, MYYA.com. And our socials are at We Are Myya,
Yeah.
MYYA. And you can find me at Jasmine R. Jones everywhere. Mainly LinkedIn is probably best now. And JasmineRJones.com. And I'm happy to help. If I can be a resource in any way, please don't hesitate to use me. Send me messages if I can help you with bra fittings. If you have any questions, if I can answer anything for your groups, please don't hesitate to let me know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great. JasmineRJones.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Jasmine.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
We're having a date soon, Jazz.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we're having some virtual consultations. So if your group is watching, if you're watching and you're part of an advocacy group, a friend circle, whatever it is, and we want to really to build awareness around this, but to normalize this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like make it something that is so comfortable that you don't ever have to feel ashamed about it ever again.
Yeah.
And Mo, let us know what's going on up at the farm. I mean, we could take the show on the road and come up to the farm. And I know you do a lot of survivor events there. So, let us know. Happy to, and I need to get up there anyway. So I'm happy to.
June 6th, we're having one. We're going to do another one. So, I mean, if you're available June 6th, we'd love to see you. But if that's too soon, we will work out something else. But we should have this really around and for you because there's so much wonderful education that we can provide, and we'll sponsor, we'll host you. So you just say the word and we'll make it happen because this conversation needs to go everywhere. And finally it has. It's not just brick and mortar. It really is expanded access. So, we're just so grateful. Truly.
And we'll talk about the vineyard too. You should come to the vineyard.
Yeah.
We'll do
That'd be
something.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's been relatable and reliable and real. It's what we do here, me and Ricky, on the Doctor's End every Wednesday, every platform, every time we get a chance. We're just so grateful for the opportunity. So we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Love you both. Love you
so
all. So great to see you.
Bless you, love. Bless you, love. Bless you, love. Gotta make the hearts come out.
Yep.
All right.
I can never get the heart.
I don't know what makes it work. Love you, Bob.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you, Bob. Love you, Dr.
Love you too.
Love you, guys.